We are live!
And are you sticking to the damn plan?
So it's Saturday morning where we are, so if you're watching this and it's the same time difference, whatever, then you are watching this live. Because the amount of times people think, are you guys still live? And they're commenting days later, you're like, yeah, that's because I say that at the start.
Yeah, it's going to be Saturday evening in Australia and early hours Saturday morning.
East Coast
in the
States. Oh yeah, but even West Coast.
Yeah, West Coast as well.
So
if you're having a great Friday night in the States, then give us a thumbs up.
Yeah. Holly Dolly's on, so for Holly Dolly we're going to go toot 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 toot. Holly Dolly's getting a new van, so I can't stop going toot toot. Mark's on. Hello, Mark.
I'm going to get some comments up here from Facebook.
Going to get them on the iPad. So we're into February now, so obviously it's all about, are you sticking to the damn plan? Hold on, let me get all these comments. My Janelle. Holly Dolly with the van. Guys, you are my favourite. Thank you, Iscatel39.
Happy days. Just see if we can get some comments up here. Oh, live, there we go.
Yeah, happy days. I'm just going to set the iPad down here on iShot. Who else is Simply Deep? Sup you two in the chat room, looking great as usual. Thanking you very much.
Larry Portillo, hey guys. Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Comments. We're cooking on gas.
So it's been quite a busy week, isn't it? I was actually out for the count early in the week. Was it Tuesday I was unwell?
Yeah, you're man down,
I
right?
was proper man down. So on the Monday, one of my clients had cancelled our session on the Tuesday, and she said she's basically had a flu bug. So then we hit the Tuesday morning, I woke up at 4:30 and I was like, whoa, I just was not well. So I messaged her. Now thankfully she said it was virtually a 24-hour bug, but man, for 24 hours I was not in a great place. Like full on flu, but for 24 hours. So I ended up watching, I don't know when I was growing up, I played this game on the PC and the Amiga. It was called Lemmings. It was a little puzzle game. You had all the wee lemmings, and you had to get them from the start to finish without killing them.
Everyone must remember Lemmings, right?
Well, I went onto YouTube and I found a 6-hour video of a full playthrough of Lemmings. And you've got to remember, I'm lying in bed and I'm not feeling too well. So I just pushed play, the wee music was playing, and this guy clearly knew what he was doing. So he's playing the puzzle through, and I'm just watching, it was so relaxing. Because he would show you the puzzle at the start, and I'm like, how's he going to solve this one? And off he went. I was like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I didn't have to try it, I was just enjoying it. So I then went and downloaded Lemmings on my phone, which is different nowadays, but...
So now Rabbit's unproductive as
beep! Yeah.
So today's video is all about, are you sticking to the damn plan? Because we're into February now, and statistics will show that those who wait until January to get on the health kick will typically be finished by February. So give us a thumbs up if you are sticking to the damn plan. And that you're sticking to your guns, you've chosen your goal, and you're not stopping no matter what. Now I'm just going to read out this comment from Lillian Wilson. Morning you guys.
Morning Lillian.
Want to know what's not fair? Exercising and gaining weight. I must be doing something wrong. So Lillian, yes, you might be doing something wrong, you might be doing something absolutely right, because depending on how much weight you've gained and what type of training you're doing and how your diet is. What we will say is, it's not a competition each time you step on the scales. It's not like you've been good or you've been bad. It's a success or it's a failure. When you step on the scales or you wrap a tape measure around your waist, all it is information to act on. So if you're doing a bunch of stuff, like we don't know what you're doing at the moment, so if you're doing a bunch of stuff and then you step on the scales and you get a result. If you're not happy with that result, then we need to change something here. So it's not like, oh, success or failure. It's okay, well, that didn't quite work. Do I need to tweak my diet? Do I need to do a little bit more exercise? Do I need to do a different type of exercise? Do I need to do less exercise, which might sometimes be the case as well? Yeah. There's lots to think about. So
plus we don't know how much, because when someone says I'm gaining weight, right away, that very definition, you're heavier than you were the last time you weighed yourself. Yeah. But we don't have, if you stepped on scales, you're 2 pounds heavy, you know, lean, good quality lean muscle is quite heavy. If you just train, the muscles are swollen, you can be retaining fluid. There's lots of reasons why. It depends how much weight. I mean, if you're continuously piling on weight, then that is definitely something you'd have to address. But again, we don't know what sort of levels these are at, so don't always panic. Weight is just a number. You want to be shrinking in general or tightening up. That's the goal. There's
a bunch of people on Facebook, so I'm not going to read out all the comments, but I'll say a few names. Josh, Paul, Caitlin, Pauline. Oh, that's a cool name.
What is it?
Flory Jane.
Flory Jane?
Flory Jane. Paul, Ty, T. Georgina, Stephen, Flory Jane again, Sierra.
And on YouTube we've got Toby, Mark Stevens, Paula Costa, Iskill twice, Holly Dolly saying she doesn't have a plan, we'll sort that out, Holly Dolly.
Yes.
Marcel's on, hello from Canada. Phoenix Star, that's a cool name, isn't it? Phoenix Star. They're saying, morning coach, is about 2 AM here in Alabama. Sweet home Alabama.
So you're having an awesome Friday night, unless you're up early for like a late shift or something. Yeah. Lillian says, I love you guys.
So for those of you that follow us on Facebook, we also have a huge library of videos on YouTube, so you can nip across there, The Kilted Coaches, and vice versa. If you're on YouTube, we're doing a lot of stuff on Facebook at the moment, so overlap.
YouTube has certainly a library of video that's easy to find what you're looking for on the YouTube side of things, but vice versa, if you're on YouTube, then Facebook have lots more photos and different posts, so please jump over and make sure that you're liking the page.
So Tess just said, was just settling down to sleep when this popped up.
Hey.
A delightful sight to doze off to. I'm sticking to the damn plan, walking 25,000 per week. I'm assuming, is that steps? Or 20, oh no, 25k. 25,000. 25k a week, that's brilliant actually. Yeah. What's that, 4k a day? Really well done.
So now you need to stay awake for the next half hour while we're on.
Yeah. 25k a week, that's pretty damn good. What's nice about that, depending on how you're measuring that test, and I've got an old boy, he's late 70s, 80s, he's obsessed with it now, but he's got one and he counts his steps. But I know that everyone tries to hit a target like 10,000 steps a day, but what he's done is he builds his average up. So even if you have a good day or a bad day, he doesn't mind, but his average over time has to be increasing. And I remember his average went up to 14,000 steps a day, so it means he'll have a day when he only does 8.
You don't have to stress about it.
No,
you make it up on
as long as his average are increasing. Oh, Mark Winters, thank you so much for your donation.
Yay, Mark Winters.
Now, he's asked a question as, how do you get restarted when you have life crap getting in the way, e.g. divorce? What's the things that sap your motivation? You've got to put your health first for all these situations, and I know that's tough. You know, when you're going through a breakup or a loss of a family member, or even moving house. People can, stressful situations, people just shut off and don't look after themselves, don't eat properly, don't train, and don't relax. You have to prioritise your health, and it's very difficult to do, but you just got to put that time aside. It will make things easier to deal with, it really will.
So yeah, I'm going to give you a little, this is how my head works when it comes to these things, because everybody goes through stressful times, everyone experiences things that they might not want to experience in life, but the way I see it is I'm always striving for perfection and what that means to me, and I think everyone should be doing roughly the same. You're aiming for awesome, right? My awesome is like there, okay, and you work your way towards it. Now, for a lot of people, when you have this idea of awesome, you might be at like ground zero. You might be like, I'm here, and you're always just chipping away, and just moving towards awesome. But at the same time, you've got this sort of buffer zone that sort of lags behind you slightly. So, for instance, I'll give you an example of nutrition side of things, okay? For my body weight, I should be drinking about 3.5 litres of water per day. I know that I should be having protein at each meal, blah, 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 blah. And there's a bunch of principles. And I'm always trying to tweak things and make things as good as I can. So my training is always being tweaked. I'm always trying to get more nutrients into my diet and different foods. But when the shit hits the fan, and when you're really kind of feeling a bit down and something's going on in your life, you're like, you know, I just don't have the motivation, then you fall back to the buffer zone. You're like, do you know what? It doesn't matter if I'm getting all these fancy nutrients in. It doesn't matter how awesome my training is. What matters is that I'm staying hydrated, and I've got protein at every meal, and that I am doing some sort of activity, physical activity, 3 times a week. It doesn't matter what it is, but that's my fail-safe, because I know that I'm hydrated, I've got my protein in to maintain my muscle mass, and I'm still active, because being active will make you feel better instantly. You get more energy going through your body, and then you can think more clearly. So have like a fail-safe that you fall back to, but then you can, it allows you to sort of regather your thoughts and then carry on.
Now, Mark Stevens asked a really good question. Do you recommend getting an Apple 4 watch? So Mark, I mean, this is a question we put out to our audience. My wife's got the Apple, I don't think she's got either the first or the second Apple Watch. Now, they're quite pricey, and for what she uses it for, I was originally going to buy myself an Apple Watch. I like the idea of it. But then I realised what put it off for me was the whole battery issue. Now, she charges it virtually every day, which for me, I'm like, Christ, if I need a watch, I need a watch to work. And not, you know, if I went to bed somewhere and didn't have my charger with me, you know. I don't know how much better the 4 is compared to the 1 2. My wife has still got, I'm sure she's either got the Apple Watch 1 or 2, maybe it's even 1. And she's still rolling with it, and she uses it for all the things she does. I'm not sure the benefits of the Apple Watch 4. Maybe it's more infrared. Depends what you're going to use it for. I think that was off the back of us talking about counting steps. There are far cheaper options if that's what you're going to use it for.
Yeah.
These Fitbits you can pick up for 20 quid. You can even get
and
apps on your phone as well that are free.
And you don't have to charge battery every day. I mean,
yeah.
We got these watches last summer. Was it last summer? No, it was Barcelona. It's the summer before that.
Yeah.
So we've had these for 18 months. And I want to ask you a simple question, and I'm going to give you the answer as well. Hold on, answer. How many times have you changed that battery on there?
None.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then we're not
0.
counting steps. But if I wanted to count steps, there's an app on my phone, and it doesn't quite work in the Spawn, but if I put it in my pocket, it picks up the steps.
Did I just go 1, 2, 3?
I was doing that for a while, mate, and then I was burning so many trees down because I was keeping a note on a notepad, and the amount of trees I was going. I was walking that many steps. I mean, literally, you say, how many steps did you do? I was like, I did all of them.
Fuck, did you?
All of them.
Twice round.
So it depends on what you're going to use it for. But again, ask the audience: has anyone that's watching got an Apple 4 watch, and would they recommend it? And anyone that's watching, see what I did there? Have you had previous Apple Watches, and why is the 4 better than the 1? That's a technical question more than anything, but sell it to us. Should we get the Apple Watch 4?
So Michael Long, take care guys, keep up the workouts. Are you doing a calendar for 2019? Michael, we've got actually our Patreon page because a lot of people were asking for a calendar, and we thought it was quite funny. It's like, can we make a calendar?
Well, we were going to look, at one point we looked at different sites, but it would have meant us shipping them all out individually and the drop shippers. It was going to be
it was going to be very expensive for us initially for the outlay, and then ultimately we'd have to pass the price on to.
And we didn't want to charge that much for the calendar, so we made it nice and simple.
We made it as cheap as chips. We put it on Patreon so you can actually download a calendar every single month, and it'll cost you
$1 a month.
Anything from $1 a month. But then there's different tiers in the system. So go to patreon.com/The Kilted Coaches.
So you get your monthly calendar, and then if you want to support the channel further, you get all the behind the scenes videos, the Spot the Scott puzzles, and then we also have our beer tier, which is bespoke questions.
So Janet Jans, she says, ooh, yeah, a calendar would be lovely.
Well, we'll get yours for $1 a month. There you go. I'd buy that for $1.
Michael's saying excellent. Does Scotland have summer? Yeah, last year it was a Tuesday, wasn't it?
It's the best day of the year, mate.
Yeah, it's usually. Last year was a Tuesday.
Jason's asking, I wonder what Rab's chest hair feels like. I don't know about Rab's chest hair, but Quincy feels lovely. Very soft, fluffy. I shampoo him from time to time. He gets very angry if I don't take care of him. So.
Hi from Toronto. Here's one for you, mate. Can you explain bulking? Dan from Dan Rutson. Can you explain bulking? I'll give that one to Rab.
Bulking ultimately is adding more muscle mass to your frame. Keeping it nice and simple, there's 2 ways you can do this, and it depends on your body type. You can either do what I used to do, and I used to just pile on as much weight as I could. So I used to eat as much as I could, train as hard as I could, and I used to put a lot of body fat on along with the muscle mass. You tend to start to resemble a bit like a strong man, and then historically I'd then trim it off, and I'd end up going bulk, trim, bulk, trim, bulk, trim, so on. As you get older, and you've got to stay fit and be light enough to run, it's quite good to do what we call a lean bulk, which is where you do eat more calories, you do train hard, you got the right nutrients in, but you're not trying to put on too much fat, so you don't put on as much bulk, but it's a slower process, but then you're always in shape.
Yeah, you also don't put on the fat that goes along with a big bulk.
Now we have the Lean Bulk program as part of our Everlean Clan membership, so that for $20 a month you can get everything from our Lean Bulk program, which is 12-week with nutrition formula, or if you're looking for weight loss, the 12-week programs in there as well. We've got monthly workouts in there, recipes.
The Lean Runner program, so if you're into running, I'm on the verge of just getting it finished off. All the pieces are there, I just need to put it into the structure.
All of that is available for as little as $20 a month. You can sign up. If you follow it for 3 months or follow it for a month, stay on as long as you want to do. You can cancel at any time.
Yeah, no contract, no problems at all. Most people come on for the Everlean program itself, which is a 12-week weight loss, which covers mindset, keeps you motivated.
I'll put the link in the comments right now.
Cool. All the exercise and a progressive nutrition system where a lot of PTs and online coaches will give you like a diet plan. Now a diet plan is great and actually they do work, but only over a short period of time. The amount of people that say, I had a
plan.
Yes. The amount of people who say, I had a diet plan last year and it was amazing, it really worked. I'm going to go for another one. And you're like, if it worked that well, then you wouldn't need another one. So the way we do things is that we actually coach you in nutrition principles. So we actually educate you in how much water to have, how much protein to have, how much fats, carbohydrates, fibre, vitamins and minerals, as and when to have caffeine, you know, when fasting should come into place. So we're educating all these things so that you make your own decisions. And we give you like a framework of what we believe you should be doing because we know it gets results. But then ultimately, it's then up to you to say, well, you know, I want to have steak and chips. Can I factor that in? Well, you know about protein, you know about carbs, you know about fats. You then factor that into your diet as you see fit. And this is why it works for this long-term period.
The great thing is, because we teach you everything, eventually you don't necessarily need, you could write it all down, you tell it all. Now, also the benefit we have is we've got our online forum, which we're actually going to be changing.
Yes, we are.
So currently
Google
we were
Plus.
using a Google Plus forum. Google Plus is shutting down. We're looking at different forums moving forward, but in the short term, we're going to be shifting everything from the Google Plus into our Facebook group.
Yeah.
On our page.
If you don't have Facebook, now is the time to get it.
Just make yourself a ghost thingy. Make sure your name matches your clan subscription.
Yeah.
We'll sort it all out for you. This is all going to happen over the next couple of days. If you're on Facebook and you want to be part of this group, you can sign up at the clan. Did you put the link in as well, did you?
No, I've not. No.
Steve's going to put the link in just now for Facebook. You can sign up to the clan, get all of that fitness and exercise advice, and be a part of that group, which we moderate and coach and help you through, which is going to be awesome. That's how you stick to a damn plan. Krista, after ankle surgery, my right leg is atrophied. How can I most quickly get my muscles back? So Krista, when it comes to one leg, it depends how badly it's atrophied, because I had someone that broke a leg once and it atrophied not quite half the size of his other leg, but not far off. And generally, although we did some things that were specific for that leg, ultimately we just stuck and treated both legs the same where possible, and the other leg caught up. Because when you start heavily focusing on one leg and fatiguing it too much, it was going to affect his gait. So we were doing things like just keeping good form, going very, very light, because you've got to remember, you've got to go as light as the weakest leg can cope.
Yeah.
And then it will get stronger and stronger, and then they'll eventually balance out. But if you wanted to, you could, for maybe one exercise in the workout, specifically target one leg more than the other to maybe try and bring it up. But I wouldn't recommend.
As long as you're doing sort of unilateral stuff where your legs are forced to work at their own capacity. So doing like a double leg press is not ideal because the stronger leg can take over. But doing single leg squats each side, you can even do lunges, you can do different things. So yeah. I'm just going to give a wee shout out to. I'm going to mispronounce this.
Oh, here we go!
Llewellyn Moulds Jones. Good morning to you both from Zermatt, still celebrating mode following Wales win in Paris last night, but yes, keeping to the plan.
It's funny because that name, it's like, there used to be a show in the UK called
Red
Dwarf,
yeah.
and Crichton was played by a guy called Robert Llewellyn. Is it Llewellyn? Is that how you say it? Man, that show was fun.
Did you watch the rugby last night?
I didn't. I've always seen the highlights come up when it's stinging. No, was it good?
So fair play to Wales because they were getting humped at half time, 16-0 to France. And we're like, whoa, this is a different French team. You're like, and Wales had just been saying beforehand that Warren Gatland had been saying we're in like the best shape we've ever been in. Right. The squad is looking amazing. We're like so many games unbeaten. He says coming into the Six Nations and for the World Cup we're in the best position possible. Yeah. And then it was like 16-0 to France at half time. We're like, no way. And then the second half Wales just came back and creamed them.
What I love about rugby, and I played for a lot of years, was that I'm going to compare it to football, or in the US you would call it soccer. Now football, a team at the end of the season is like, oh, we didn't do well because we didn't buy any new players. Whereas rugby is all about the coaching, and if you bring that into your everyday life, it's like saying, if Stephen and I couldn't get a job done, we need to change our approach to it. But that's suggesting we can get it done, we just don't know how yet. But if the mindset is, Steve and I can't get the job done, so we need to buy someone else in that can, it's such a horrible mindset. It's like, no, get the right coaching, with the right training, the right tactics. So Warren Gatland's coming to Wales, he's not bought players in, you can't buy players in the country, and he's got them ship-shape and playing in a way that they're becoming world beaters, right? Same way that Ireland are doing very well. They can beat all the Southern Hemisphere teams now. And it's all down to their training, their tactics, and it shows you that any human, this includes yourself, assuming you're human, can do anything with the right training and tactics. The whole concept that, oh, we didn't buy any new players, or we didn't buy any better talent. Yeah, you don't have to buy any better talent, just up your game.
Yeah, it's all about the training and the coaching. But I think Wales are number 3 in the world now. I think it must be New Zealand, Ireland, Wales.
Yeah, I forget which way. Ireland is certainly, if they're not top one.
I'm pretty sure Ireland.
But what's great is you see the top teams and anyone could win now.
Oh yeah.
Whereas years ago it was always New Zealand, Australia, South Africa for a time as well. They were the top 3, and then the 6 nations would sniff in somewhere in between. But again, it's just coaching.
Amazing.
Yeah. So if it's not working for you, change your approach or train harder.
So Patricia Holden, what are the best back exercises? I have had 2 major back surgeries. I must be very mindful not to re-injure. So it depends on what your surgeries were and what you can and cannot do. I'm going to start this by saying, please seek advice from somebody in your area that can assess you. Yeah. We can give you a general kind of gist of a few exercises, but ultimately we don't know your condition, so please get specific advice for you.
By the sounds of things you're describing, I'm assuming lower back and around the core, because that's the other way of referring back, the upper back, which
the most common back surgeries are lower back.
So can mean best exercises for that.
Is it to strengthen up? Because this is again a misconception in modern life. A lot of people get very, very sore back and whatnot, and again you need to speak to a professional. But my experience, a lot of people get these kind of really kind of sore backs. But then they're doing a lot of back exercises because they believe it's weak. But actually, a lot of the time, it's too strong. Because of modern life, it's going to put us in this position when the abs are just switched off. It stretches them to oblivion. This is especially during pregnancy. Okay, so when you're pregnant, what happens is you have weight at the front of the belly, so you get this pelvic tilt here, which then sticks your bum out. So you get very tight hip flexors. Your abs are stretched to oblivion because of the baby anyway, but your lower back becomes very tight because you have to support the weight. But then because you're in this position, your shoulders then become very tight because your body tries to pull you normal again. So most females who have ever had kids end up being a little bit tight here and very, very tight in the lower back. And if it's not corrected, it can then lead to a bunch of other stuff. Not to mention just the seated position we're in all day just weakens the abs again. So yes, you should be strengthening up your core, but then your core refers to abs, back, obliques, glutes, posture muscles, your erector spinae muscles, which come all the way up your back. So I would say things like a plank would be good, because you're just strengthening up that zone completely in a very natural position. Anything, I don't want to actually show you exercise here.
Ooh, we're in for a treat.
So we've got a cable machine here, so if I was just to pull that cable, it's a relatively lightweight on there, okay? If I was just to pull that out, try and maintain my body position here, so nice and straight, pull that nice and close, and then just push my arms out to hold, I've then got that weight trying to pull me down. So if I was to relax my muscles, it pulls me down. So just by a holding exercise, when I'm bracing my abs, I can then strengthen up the abs, the obliques coming around here, and then the lower back. So something like that. You don't necessarily need a cable. You can actually get one of these bands that you can get from most supermarkets, attach it to like a door handle, and then just stand in your house and hold it out straight.
It's also what Stephen said at the beginning about going to see someone in your area that can hands-on, because I have had issues with my back. That for me personally, this is me as an individual, I know where it comes from. It's because of a lack of flexibility through my hamstrings and into my glutes. And if I go through a period where either I'm training or doing bits and pieces but not stretching enough, because the lower areas get tight, generally when you get some sort of niggle, it's affected by anything above and below it, usually directly. And because if they get too tight and not flexible enough, I get issues with my lower back. So it's about identifying properly what was causing the problem initially. So sometimes a good stretching routine in the right areas can. Yeah. And also you have to remember the lats connect at the front of the delts and then come down, round and into the back. So if you've got very, very tight shoulders, as Stephen's saying, after pregnancy, okay, that's going to pull here and cause problems in the back as well. So trying to identify exactly what caused it. I understand you said you had surgery, but what caused that prior to the surgery, and look on a stretch routine for the muscles that are affected by that.
Just another quick little shout out, Janet Jans again. So what exercises can can you do for lower back pain? We actually did a video on this. It's on YouTube at the moment.
How to fix your lower back pain.
Yeah.
I think it's like, yeah.
And we actually explained, there's a full video talking about this very subject, and we give an exercise prescription about how to stretch, how to activate certain muscles. Yeah. And it's appropriate for those who spend too long sitting down, i.e. office workers or drivers of some kind, and anybody, females after pregnancy.
Anne's on, and the clan, morning boys.
Morning, Anne.
Biker's on, morning from Vienna.
Biker?
Yeah, Biker 732,000. There's a lot of bikers, right? 73,200. Gee whiz.
If you were a biker, you'd be a hairy biker.
We were talking about that yesterday, weren't we? Yeah, because it would be, wouldn't it?
Awesome, guys. That's fine. Cool. The stomach muscles separated in my last pregnancy. Katie Silner. Was that Katie that asked that question? Was it?
Yeah, Katie used to be a clan member. Hi, Katie. Come on in.
Don't buy a team, you create a team. Yes, exactly, Katie.
Kawaii Boy, morning from Houston, Texas. Oh, and it's Super Bowl Sunday this weekend. Super Bowl Sunday.
I've never been in there.
Have you not?
American football, nah.
I usually stay up for it every year.
See if we call it American football. Do they just call it football in America?
Yeah. Right. That's why over there they call what we call football soccer.
Right, okay.
Because it does seem silly when we're like, yeah, let's go play it, or let's go watch American football.
Yeah.
Like, did they say go watch British soccer?
Yeah, because football to us and American football is different. It's like Brazil nuts, right? Do they just call them nuts in Brazil?
Oh, they must do.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because they handle the ball more in American, or the gridiron, than they do in our soccer football. So technically ours is football.
Yeah, ours is football. Yeah.
They only kick the ball every 4 plays if they can't get the 10 yards.
Yeah, their game should be called handball, but that's our game as well. So.
Yeah. Smash ball, that sounds epic.
Smash ball.
Smash ball.
Some of the hits they take though, you're like, Jesus.
See the adverts during the Super Bowl. Now this was years ago. I think this is more than 10 years ago. I remember getting the stats on it. And for a 30-second advert, it would cost the company $1 million.
Yeah? Wow.
And the way that American football works is that there's always stoppages in place. So there's always quick adverts, always. Yeah. So the amount of revenue, and that was 10, 15 years ago. So that cost now will be huge.
Anna Chamberlain. Hi Anna. I've started doing yoga a couple of times a week, but I'm trying to lose weight. Would it be better to add cardio or weight training to help reach my goal?
I'm going to vote for the...
So am I. You go.
Especially since you've already got the yoga in your routine, so anything you tighten up with your resistance training, you're then going to loosen off again in the yoga.
Yeah.
Probably burn more calories as well.
If you want to, there's no harm in cardio. If you can do a little bit of both, then do both.
JD Do's on JD Do.
Oh, happy days. LK, that's good. What kind of exercises for people with disabilities? So Toby, it depends on the disabilities. Because you can get somebody with, we've got a client in the PT studio who had polio when he was a young boy, and he's basically got very next to no muscle in his leg and his arm. So he's got a disability, but it's a very specific disability, so we train him accordingly. Other people are in wheelchairs, other people are blind, can't talk, are deaf. It's hard to answer that question unless you give us a bit more specifics, mate.
Yeah. And depending on we do have on our YouTube, we do have a playlist, exercise for beginners. Now that doesn't necessarily cover disabilities, but it might give you easier options that you could look at and think, well, depending on your ailment, you might be able to attempt that and give it a go. And it does break them down into easier stages. So have a look at the exercise for beginners playlist. That's always.
I'm going to read this one out. Don't hate me, but it's funny. Ooh. So this is from Frida Kruger.
Frida! Hey!
She says, American football? Isn't that rugby for beginners?
Oh, come on, that's epic. Actually, though, there's that historic 20 or is it 30 years ago, the British Lions went across and they played whoever the Super Bowl world champions were at the time.
Oh, really?
American football, and obviously got beat. And then guess what happened when it switched round to rugby? The American footballers came out with their pads and helmets.
No.
Yep, and they refused to take them off to play. The rugby boys were like, you pansies. And historically, what happens, believe it or not, the American football players can't play rugby because they gas out. Rugby
it's
constant.
It is 80 minutes of work.
Yeah, and what they do is, although they're very powerful guys, you've got to think, American football's stop-start, explosive, big hits. These are strong, powerful, explosive guys that have got incredible attributes, but they'll throw the ball, God knows how far, jukes, left, right.
But you train for a play.
Yeah,
that's it.
Exactly.
How long is the average
And then
play?
there's a stoppage to get their breath back. In rugby...
Did you not say like the average play is like 7 seconds or something?
Sometimes less if you get hit quick enough, and then there's always a 30 second in between, 30 seconds between choosing the next play.
I think it's probably why I've never got into it. I'm like, I just can't be bothered with the whole stop. I like to watch a game. It's like 80 minutes. You watch a game and it's done.
It's the tactics that I love.
This is where you've got to respect tennis players as well. Tennis players go for hours and hours and hours. No wonder Andy Murray's hips buggered.
Because tennis does fall into category. It's like snooker and golf. It's not just about being good. You've got to consistently be good.
Yeah.
You know, like with golf, they play however many rounds, because they're all great, they're all so many under par, right? But then they've got to do it the next day and when the weather changes.
But at the same time, you got to think, like, for me, for golf, like, how much time in a game of golf are they actually playing golf?
And that was calculated once, it's very little.
Because it's like 2 seconds.
I think it's 60 seconds a shot. Because by the time they address
the ball, line up, okay,
but then they've got the walk in between. You're right, around the golf's 3 hours, but they only play 70 shots. Well, I mean, just thought if it was a minute a shot, it's still 7 minutes allegedly. I lose interest. Down actually where our little Holly Dolly lives, there's a golf course there. And a client of mine took me golfing there. And it's only a 9-hole course, so to do 18 you do it twice. Yeah. Man, I got to hole 5 and I was bored. I like teeing off, and I don't mind it when you're hitting shot. I can't be arsed with putting because I'm not good at it, and I don't find it exciting. I like chipping. The further away you are from the hole, there's a bit of skill to this. When it comes to putting, it's like it's just annoying. It's like hit, you have to go closer. Hit, no, you're like, go home, ball.
No, but at least when you make a mistake with putting, you have to take an extra 2 steps. You make a mistake when you're like, whoosh, it goes. Whoosh. It's like, I'm going to be walking for the next 5 minutes.
I think it's the whole reward thing, because when I'm putting, if I get it in, so if I'm here to the wall, which isn't far, right? If I putt and get them in, I'm like, yeah, very good, I'm only there to there, right? I could have jumped and hit it. But if you're from here, 20 yards with your chip, and it doesn't necessarily go in, but goes very close to the hole, you're like, man, that was awesome. You get much more of a buzz, a bit of a dopamine rush.
Have you ever seen the sketch by Robin Williams talking about golf and the invention of it? It is genius. He's talking about the Scots, obviously golf was invented in Scotland, so he says, it's only the Scots that could invent golf. And he says, we're going to take a ball and we're going to put it in a hole. And they're like, kind of like a croquet type idea. Oh, I know, but the ball's going to be smaller and the sticks are going to be longer and it's going to be a hole this size and a ball this size. Right, okay, so how long is this course going to be? He's like, it's going to be like a couple of metres long. Nah. It's going to be 400 yards over there. What? So is it going to be all nice and plain and cut grass? And he says, no. He says, I'll have a wee strip of kind of nice grass. He says, but then I'm going to have trees and I'm going to have rough and I'm going to have, this will fuck them up. We'll have bunkers of sand so they can get trapped in. We'll have rivers. I'm like, Jesus, this sounds like an extreme game you're inventing here. Like, so this is going to take a bit of time to get that ball in the hole. I mean, I'm assuming they just do it once. Nah, 18 times. Anyway, if you haven't seen this sketch with Robin Williams, please go and Google it. Robin Williams, the invention of golf. It's hilarious.
When that show we mentioned earlier, Red Dwarf.
God rest his soul.
Yes. Red Dwarf, when he goes to play golf, the ship's cat, who just gets everything backwards, literally. Because when they're going around the golf course, his mermaid girlfriend comes out, and she comes out, she's got human legs, but a fish head. He's like, hey, it's Miranda, my girlfriend! And they're like, she's a mermaid. Yeah. And they're like, wouldn't it be the other way around? He's like, that's the stupid way, because the cat loves fish. Yeah. But then when they're golfing, the main character hits his shot. He's like, yeah, not too bad. The cat dresses up, spins, and then launches the club.
It's a little subtle bit where he says, they're like, I thought it'd be the other way around, like human on top, and he's like, huh? Why would it be that? That's the stupid way.
Yeah.
Now we've got a good question here from Patricia. Would incline bench press be the best to keep per K breasts?
Ooh, so
talking about your
pictorials.
It could be. Again, in my experience, in my opinion, a lot of time females try to do sort of bench pressing, whether it be incline, normal, or decline, to try and perk up the chest area, tighten it up. But actually, because of modern life, a lot of time, again, after pregnancy, I don't know if you've had kids or not, but after pregnancy, the shoulders sort of dip forward. And what that does, if you watch my chest, if I do that, it then makes all this kind of nice and soft. Because if I pull them back, it's firmed everything up and it spreads it all out. So I always say try and get some upper back exercises. So any sort of rowing movement would be good.
And also generally for firming up, because of the breast tissue, reducing water retention and reducing a little bit of body fat does help in that area where possible.
I was going to say something really sleazy there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm not going to say
it. But it's a Saturday morning show, we've got to keep it clean-ish. Yeah. Hi from Manchester boys, that's Michael. Hi Michael. Manchester.
Yazid.
Oh yeah.
That sounds like something when you've had too much to drink. Hey, I feel about Yazid. What's today's exercise? So we actually you had your little workout this morning.
Yeah, I was doing a military press, did a bit of lateral raise, and then literally just some shameless press ups before we came on just to bump the chest.
Yeah, and I was doing a little bit of boxing, lat raises, shrugs.
We must stress, we've done a video on this before, do not believe what you see on social media. If we're ever going topless on a stream, we always do press ups first, because it gets the muscles pumped and it makes you look the best that you could look. No, yeah. We
want to exaggerate our muscles. Yeah. Therefore, before we come live, we do a bunch of press ups. I do some lat raises.
Sometimes you can do some dips.
Biceps,
use the body weight stuff. Get the blood.
It's what the movie stars do. So, like before every scene in say the film Predator, the Arnie and Carol Weathers,
they're
all like massive guys. They're all pumping up before every single scene just to get a bit more blood flow into the muscles.
So remember, when you see images on social media of people looking awesome and their abs out and they're pumped, they've done probably about 200 press-ups before that shot was taken. So do not believe what you see on social media.
Mike Cox saying, Stephen, I've seen pictures of you when you were younger and you were really lean. I'd like to put on weight and muscle and look more like you do now. Any advice? So Mike, yeah, so I'm a typical ectomorph, somewhere between an ectomorph and a mesomorph. So I find it very, very difficult to put on muscle. I've got to work. In fact, if I just start doing some cardio, some running, my muscle just kind of falls away. The advice is to get to know your body. If you're tall and naturally lean, like I am, then my body responds well to carbohydrates. So typically speaking, for people who are like getting lean and whatnot, it's like, oh, I want to come away from the carbs. For most ectomorphs, it's usually the other way around. Get high protein and high carbs and sort of moderate fats. Don't neglect your fats. Make sure you're getting healthy fats in, but just get the carbohydrates in and just try to fill your muscles as much as you can and get used to eating high levels of food, because I'm currently eating about 3,500 calories per day. That's just to maintain what I've got. I'm not trying to get any bigger. It's just to maintain my muscle mass. So if you are naturally lean, then yes, you can probably handle a few more extra calories, but make sure they're the right ones. When I'm saying have extra carbs, don't just start gorging on donuts and cakes and lots of bread. Try and have good sources so that you get a slow release of energy and you're going to minimise any sort of fat. So like at the moment, I know I'm quite lean already, but I'm still holding a little bit of Christmas weight because I ate more food that I would normally eat.
You had a good time.
I had a good time, and I don't regret it. It was awesome, but I'm now just back into my normal way of life and my normal training regime, or maybe a little bit more because we're training for my judo competition. But yeah, I'm leaning up again, but because I had fast release carbohydrates, basically this bit here is not normally there.
Now, as part of our Lean Bulk program, which we mentioned earlier, which is part of our clan membership, there is a formula in place depending on your body type. So, Steve was describing himself as mesoecto.
Yep.
It explains what those body types are, what category you fall into, and gives you a formula based on your body type. So,
there you go.
But basically, what Steve said, follow that. And if you want more advice, join our clan and do our Lean Bulk.
Yeah, go to the Lean Bulk. In fact, it's actually explained on the website. So if you're at all interested in this, then just go to thekiltedcoaches.com/clan, and then you'll be able to click on each individual program. You can see they're all included in the same price, so you can pick and choose which programs you're going to do. Okay. Dwayne Webb, howdy coaches.
Hi Dwayne.
Shh, I'm at work watching. Okay, Dwayne, sorry. Shh.
I'm picturing that scene out of you seen the movie Wanted?
Wanted. Yeah.
Angelina Jolie's in it.
Yes, yes.
And actually, so's Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman. I was going to say Martin Freeman.
And who's the Scottish guy?
Oh Christ, James
McAvoy.
But I'm just picturing like you're hidden in your wee cubicle, and you've just got this boss that's a dick. You just smash it over the face with the keyboard, and the letters just go F you.
Yeah.
Man, that's genius. In fact, it's Chris Pratt that's banging his bird in that.
That's right. Yeah, it is.
It's a great movie. That actually, it's really quite.
The Rock isn't that big. What?
The Rock's pretty big, like.
The Rock is a big guy.
Yeah. I mean, you don't actually understand just how big he's become, because when he was a wrestler, you look at his physique, and he was a decent size. He's still 6'3", 6'4", and he was 230, 240 when he was a wrestler. Now he's jacked. So he must be 300 pounds at least ripped. It's bodybuilding material.
So my brother works, he's a bit of an IT geek, but he works with satellite communications and whatnot. Anyway, he's got this system, his own business, and he works with all these big movies now. And so he's constantly on set for like new Star Wars, for the latest one was Hobbs and Shaw. It's like a Fast and Furious spin-off, it's called Hobbs and Shaw. Okay, so he's on the set for that. And he phoned up, he's like, Steven, he's met The Rock today. And I was like, no. And he says, yep, met The Rock. It's my life's ambition. He says, technically, I just walked past him in the corridor, and he gave me a wee nod. and I went, we didn't speak, we didn't even stop, but he nodded and I nodded. Therefore, I met him.
We're pals now.
Yeah,
my buddy Rock.
Best buds.
Right, we're going to wrap it there, my good man.
Yeah.
Right, we hope everybody has an awesome weekend. Whatever you got planned for it, when it comes.
Yeah, who's watching the rugby today? Scotland are playing Italy, which is going to be cool, at Murrayfield. And
Super Bowl on Sunday as well.
Ireland, actually. It's actually a good day of rugby today. And Super Bowl Sunday. Do you know what? I might watch the Super Bowl. When's it on?
Tomorrow night. This is Saturday, isn't it? So Sunday night. Yeah.
Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Like what sort of time at night?
Oh, like I can't remember which state it's been held in, but it's late. But I usually just record it once you first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Nah, I sometimes stay up for it, but I'll work too early. So.
Okay.